I'm Turk Strongman at Theron Q Ramacharaka. Thank you for selecting this video on why engage in peak achievement training, maximum performance training, personal evolvement training, personal growth training, movement toward true selfhood, self-mastery, any of these things. If any, all of those things those names kind of refer to something a little different than the rest. Same basic category. And if any of those in that list are the real thing, let's say they're all the real thing, well then they all involve each other right away. I wrote this regarding one viewpoint on why engage in such a thing, in such endeavor. I'm going to give you the current situation of the human mind and ability to move forward along these lines here. There's a shortcoming, to summarize. This is a good reason, one reason why to go ahead with such training. The current situation. Have you ever considered the far-reaching, comprehensive effects of concentrated thoughts and feelings on your life? Concentrated ones? Or for that matter, have you ever considered the far-reaching and comprehensive effects of your will that directs those thoughts and feelings? Maybe you have, insofar as you clicked on this video, at least. Thought is a force that penetrates people's physical bodies in everyday affairs. Our daily lives considerably depend upon our thoughts, and to make the greatest success of anything, including this endeavor that we're talking about here, including it, you must be able to concentrate your entire thought upon the idea that you're working on. But the unfortunate fact is that few people know how to truly concentrate. This means that few people can genuinely focus attention, especially not for very long. And at the same time, this also means that very few people can keep out unwanted thoughts, and therefore few people can succeed in their efforts to the fullest extent. The person who cannot direct his thoughts, wishes, plans, resolutions, and studies cannot possibly succeed at the level of greatest efficiency in the matter, of greatest achievement in it. With the larger part of humanity, thoughts seek distractions where no mental effort is required. That's what the larger part of humanity. Thoughts seek distraction where there's really no mental effort required. Typical mental activity, whether it is feeling, thinking, willing, amounts to varying forms of chaos. In this chaos, the self-perpetuating habits of doubt and of other negative thinking and feeling easily form. When some level of bona fide concentration does now and then occur, it often is accompanied by stress, agitation, and fatigue in that effort, in that moment of some level of bona fide concentration. So concentration or none, either way, great force gets dissipated by most people. Mental, emotional, moral, and even physical faculties eventually come to weaken. Associated thought processes largely are the result of suggestions made by others, which are accepted and then imagined to be original. And vicious circles of ill moods and destructive thoughts manifest their paths in all aspects of a person's life. Correspondingly, while the will to do is the greatest power in the world with respect to human accomplishment, the typical employment of willpower is very weak. Remember at the start, I mentioned concentrated thoughts, and then I said the will that directs those. So we talked about concentration and its, rarity in humanity. Now we're talking about the will. The will to do is the greatest power in the world with respect to human accomplishment. The typical employment of willpower is very weak. Its typical use requires little or no exercise of voluntary control and is called into activity by every passing desire. Such wills are subject to influence, the influence, control, and direction of others, and to impulsivity, although their owners may mistakenly believe themselves to think soundly and to will powerfully. Environmental factors compound the situation even further. Consider the environment in which such an above described typical person lives. Well, in which nearly all of us live. Life keeps speeding up. Distractions increasingly grip our attention. We live in an environment of anger that is felt and expressed all over the globe. Moreover, life's mounting layers of complexity envelop us. Solutions to social problems that impact our lives create new problems. The lines between truth and falsity and between reality and unreality blur. Normal daily activities easily turn into emotional minefields. Emotions work faster than thoughts and stress levels are on the rise. Our senses dull from overstimulation and our wills flounder alongside shifting, multitasked focus and alongside dull, habit-driven mental and physical activities. You get that? Environmental factors compound the situation. The average person, however, denies that his freedom of will action is in any way affected or restricted by outside or inside influences. The truth is that the extent to which a person controls his desires is the extent to which he has freedom of will action. I'm going to repeat that one. The truth is that the extent to which a person controls his desires is the extent to which he has freedom of will action. It is also the case that the extent to which a person has freedom of will action can be no greater than the extent to which he controls his attention. So the average person, having little control over the operations of his desires and over the direction and focus of his attention, has very little freedom of will action and lives a corresponding life. And yet also, he must win it all back by his own will. The truth remains that when a person loses grip in any sense, he has to win it back by his own will. Now that's the quagmire, isn't it? Certainly a difficult position from which to succeed in affairs anywhere near their fullest extent. So that's a picture of the untrained mind. The current situation, remember? That's the picture of the untrained mind, its owner's environment, and its ability to achieve. If a person wants to arise above all these laid out conditions, the person himself must do something. Even human evolution itself seems to demand it of each of us. That's it. The current situation has a reason to go about a systematic program, a genuine one, the real thing. Personal unfoldment, movement toward true selfhood, self-mastery, true self-mastery. Did you like the video? Thumb up. Subscribe to the channel if you didn't already. Activate the notification bell feature if you didn't already. Share the joy of the channel with others. You heard it here on Tharan Q Ramacharaka right now. I'm George Strawman. Be well.